Okay, this is my energy update. I think there's going to be a ton over the month of August because there's a lot going on. I'm going to get stuck into it. Deep dive, let's go. Lionsgate. Lionsgate opened on the 26th of July, and I felt that potently. Okay, now listen, 26th of July is when the Lionsgate opens. Most people think they get it confused with the 8th, but it opens on the 26th. Now they say that it peaks, and it said it's most potent on the 8-8 portal, which in a sense is true because the 8-8 is a portal. All these double numbers, always portals. However, if you ask any astrologer, the real peak of Lionsgate isn't necessarily on the 8th anymore, and neither does it close on the 12th, because energetically you will feel the energy ride a lot further beyond the 12th. So, you know, textbook, we kind of say, yeah, 26th it opens, peaks on the 8th, closes on the 12th. But I invite you to kind of like let go of what you read and go into what you feel, because I always go with that. I promote that all the time. Bring your own truth out and feel what you feel, because your system, your starseed self will know. And I always feel the Lionsgate energy running for most of August, and it's potent. And why miss out on all of that transformational power because your mind now believes that it closes off on the 12th? Well, that means it will close off on the 12th for you. Do you know what I mean? So I invite you to kind of like feel and sense and go with your intuition rather than your logical mind. So that is the Lionsgate. Now, usually every year when I feel it, it's very, very subtle and gentle, and I go, oh, it's the 26th, and I can feel it like a very a gentle entry. This year was like boom, and I felt it very suddenly. Everyone around me has been popping like popcorn, exploded with their stuff and their energy. This house has been intense. Luckily, I've been able to hold my center, which I'm going to get into in a minute because that was part of this Lionsgate. But everybody around me has been losing their shit while I've had to hold my center, right? So that's what's been happening. Lots of people got sick. So this energy has come through powerfully because we are in a year of transformation. We are at the final leg, if you will, of 2024, which is the year of the dragon. Fire, 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 fire. Transmutation, alchemy. It's Sekhmet. Sekhmet is all around. So you'll find deep connections with Sekhmet, the Lyrans, because they are all about this, because they are in construction. They are construction workers, as I call them. And they are all about, you know, accessing your power, your sovereignty as a Sekhmet. And the White Lions as well, because White Lions are obviously from Sirius. You'll find Isis is up front and center for you as well. So all of these frequencies, I mean, I could list a ton, but be open to all of these like blends of energy and frequency that will be reaching out to you and whispering in your ears, because those are aspects within you that are coming alive now, and so they should be. So with any powerful frequency such as Sekhmet, the ride is going to be quite intense, right? Because she takes you there, right? To the places which may be a little bit more stingy, too sore to look at, I don't know, extreme fear, but she's going to transmute all of that into courage and into her lion's roar. So this is why this month is going to be extremely important for that, because it's almost like the final brick in the pyramid. Do you know what I mean? We are nearly there, so keep the faith, right? So now I want to, like, I've done many videos on this, but just to chuck it into the circle of what I'm talking about today, Sekhmet, lion frequency, lion energy, is all connected to the Sphinx in Egypt. Now, when I go to, like, the Sphinx in Egypt is the first private visit we do, and it's always the opener for me, because the Sphinx is an earth altar, and it is also where heaven connects to earth. It's heaven and earth, right? But it's also very much lion energy, and of course Sirius is right above the Sphinx, and so on and so forth. But I want to get more into what the Sphinx represents, which is a connection, a portal, a pathway to the 8th dimension. There's the 8 again. 8 is abundance. 8 is Lion's Gate. So if you turn it on the side, it's an infinity symbol. Now, the infinity symbol is twin flame, union, but it's also how we connect with the Sphinx as well. We weave between, and that's how we connect with that beautiful stone being, right? So when we get through to the 8th dimension, it's all about acceptance of core power. Hear my roar. You cannot proclaim, meaning roar at the sun, you cannot proclaim your power until you have accepted it, right? So when we go through these layers, there's another layer of there's more power and strength to be accessed, to be received of you. So this is if there's anything going on in your life, sickness or people around you, whatever, it's going to be a challenge for you to, through strength, hold your power. Think of the tarot card with the lion. It's about strength, okay? And that is not in the brute force strength. It's about inner authority, okay? So this is what we're really moving into now. A very, very powerful foundation within our being, because there's no point in building a house in wobbly bricks. There is no point in having a tree with root systems which are only that long. We got to dig in deep now. And this is really like the core of us, which is why Sekhmet's coming in hot, right? So acceptance of core power is going to come at you in a multitude of ways. Now I want to move into, because I have a whole list here, power in holding your center in the chaos. Remember that Sekhmet is the goddess of chaos as well. Chaos is divine feminine energy, because that's where we create from. But one can have a really good experience with chaos, or one can have a really horrible experience with chaos. And it can just annihilate you, or it can actually be the making of you, right? So this is where we're moving from. It's like the shadow and the light. Every time we get plunged into shadow, it's an opportunity to unlock it, to alchemically decode it, to be able to access the wisdom and the power within, which is holding you. That's the test. That is what we're here for, to actually move through these levels of mastery. So when it comes at you, what's the first thing we want to do is go the other way. But actually we need to go at it, and we need to meet it toe to toe, because inside of there is a massive reclamation of power, right? I know it's hard to do, but we have to let go of resistance, acceptance, and then move into that power, into that space, and let spirit take the wheel, because they will just walk you through that lesson. You've just got to be able to turn and face it. That's your only job. They will do the rest, right? So what I'm actually speaking about, I'm going to bring my everyday life into this now, because I know this is similar to what everybody else has been experiencing. So husband, daughter, both melting down at the same time, both projecting their experiences, which are not great, into my space. And then me kind of like carrying their energy and feeling absolutely unwell about it, and then getting angry and resentful because of that. So I have always been taken out by other people's energies, as have all of us, right? Because let me tell you, when people say, oh, I'm an empath, we're all empaths. We all have the ability to feel frequency and energy. And I know some empaths out there have had a harder time than others, but the bottom line is, we're all empaths, right? So now we feel energy, and whether we choose to carry it, that's an us problem, right? But we always sit there and go, I'm taking on this and I'm taking on that. We cannot do that. We can actually turn around and say, I'm not doing that. But if we do not have a strong center, and we do not have a strong sense of self, and we have not accepted our core power, of course they're going to pour into us like a jug, and we're just going to take it on. Now I'm going to just bring in the reason why I know this, because just before I went to Avalon recently, I had 4 or 5 days in this house where nobody was in the house. Husband was in Zimbabwe. Daughter had flown to Zimbabwe to go and do a driving test with my husband. My son had flown out to England. I was in this house for the first time ever with no one around. And I felt absolutely fucking magnificent. I felt amazing, consistently so every single day. Now listen, that's not normal. We don't get gifted those amount of days because life gets in the way. But somehow in this crazy reality, Marie got gifted that. And I thought, when does this happen? Oh my God. And I was so astounded as to how well I felt. I was like, this is everybody else's energy. This is why I feel so awful most days, because I didn't realize I was carrying it. So no shade, no judgment. You don't even realize who you're carrying or what you're carrying and why. And I didn't know it until I was gifted this space to go, Jesus, there's no other frequencies here in this house except mine. That's when I started to get the memo. So then when I went to Avalon for 9 days on my own, it was just my own stuff that I had to face. And again, when does one actually get to do that? Because there's always other people's stuff in the mix. How do you wade through that? How do you know where you end and the other person starts? Well, I was given that 4 or 5 days before I went, and then 9 days in this container, in this vessel, for me to understand and unlock this wisdom, for me to share it with you guys, right? And then I came back and I was like, oh, okay, I'm very, very clear that the energy that I feel on a day-to-day basis is me carrying for others. Now, I came back home, Lionsgate hit, and then everybody's world, the whole world and his wife descended upon me, and I felt absolutely awful, and I started to get resentful again. And then I was like, oh, hang on a minute. I'm carrying my daughter's energy because she's dumping on me. So if somebody's dumping on you, it's because you've agreed to carry it, right? They can't dump on you if you're going, energetically. So I kind of like had the same thing with my husband. And I just thought, do you know what? I'm going to step away from this. But what did it actually stimulate? Guilt. I was like, I'm going to close the door here. He's having a meltdown for whatever reason, and I can't fix it because he's projecting. She's also doing the same. I can't fix it because I could see she was not taking responsibility as well. And I was like, I can't do this. So I shut the door and I just came into my space and I carried on working. Guilt. So much guilt. Anyway, I finished what I was doing here, because I had a lot to do yesterday. And then I walked back in there. And then when I had seen to my needs, then I was able to help them. Completely different situation. And then Marie feels so well as walking through that lesson. So it's not that you have to go on a 9-day pilgrimage. It is not that you have to go and have 5 days in your house with no one in it, because that's kind of a little bit unrealistic, isn't it? But what we do need to understand here by what I'm sharing with you is the way that you accept your core power, the way that you can develop a strong core and center is by boundaries, giving yourself what you need first of all, before you help others. Now, you can do that in every single day. The first question that opens and changes the energy from here to here is this energy mine? Is what I'm feeling today mine? Second stage, violet flame, clear, clear, get it all off. Third stage, golden pyramid of protection, or golden sphere, whatever you do to protect, keeping the space around you open. And then there's like a moat of fire around you. That's what Sekhmet showed me today. So those are the 3 stages. Try that and then see. Now, I want to finish on this video because there's a little bit of a tutorial, okay? She is the goddess of chaos. So this is indeed an initiation and a test for us to now go on to the next level. It's almost like it's the final test. It's the final rung in the ladder, as it were, because when chaos comes at you, we now need to know that we can hold our space and that we've got a strong enough center and we have a strong enough foundation to be able to hold ourselves in that wind and not get pulled off our feet, right? So that is what mastery is all about. And we've been doing this all our life and lifetimes prior. This essentially is the golden nugget, right? And that is what Sekhmet is going to bring you through the month of August, which is coming, like it's coming. So ask and call on Sekhmet to show you and guide you. Call on the lions, call on the white lions, call on the lion frequency, even the lions in the wild. That frequency, that energy of strength, tenacity, okay? Authenticity, integrity, okay? That's your acceptance of core power. So let's start there. I'm going to be doing a live on this, okay? And this is going to be on the 8/8 portal, or on the 8th of August. And it's going to be 5 p.m. Central Africa time. And of course it's a live, so if you miss it or whatever, it will be on the YouTube. And then later on in the month, I am actually going to be doing a paid online event, $88, and that's going to be announced very, very soon, where I'll be going in a bit deeper with this. And I wanted to purposely do this event halfway through, if not, round about there, because by then we would have very much gone through a process. I will be sharing energy updates, and there will be obviously this live. But then when we get to like the end process, I wanted to bring in Hathor and Sekhmet, because this is now the divine balance, and we bring in Ma'at, and we bring in these powerful frequencies to bring almost like the conclusion, the solidifying, the final sealing in of what it is to be in balance, justice, integrity, you know what I mean? Ma'at, the water element balanced in the heart, the fire element, which is the fiery womb of Sekhmet, all of these things to be balanced. So I didn't want to bring it in too early. So that paid event is going to be middle to end. Now, I'm only going to be opening up a few limited spaces to this, and there's a good reason for that, because I do like to get to everybody personally. That's where I shine my light the most, when I can actually have conversations with you. So there will only be a few spaces for that. So you're more than welcome to pop me an email or a comment and just put your name down. But then I will be announcing this event in the next few days. So watch out for that. So yeah, so there's lots of things we're going to be doing as we move through this powerful portal of transformation. And as we get to the end of August, September September, October, November, like we flow into Christmas and like, God, we're in 2025. Now that's a whole nother podcast, but that's where we're at, guys. So let's just kind of work with the next logical step, the next portal that's opening, worry less about the bigger picture of the mountain, and let's focus on acceptance of core power. So yes, exciting times ahead, challenging ones, but nothing we can't handle. Peace and love, y'all. Peace and love.